Hey, I'm so excited to be here. Ah, I'm just going to pause this, make sure that everything is good to go. So I just want to Hey Katie, how are you? I'm really excited to be here. Literally it's been a journey. I've been kind of scrambling to get here, but I did upgrade to StreamYard just because I want to be as professional as possible. So here we are. Today I am going to be ranking some tropes because I am kind of going back and forth about whether or not I'm going to be writing fanfic or focusing on fan fiction or focusing on my own OG projects. And I'm actually already filmed an entire video about my fan fiction journey. And if it sounds silly or anything like that to you, I'm a writer. I don't identify as an author right now, at least in this season of my writing journey. I'm focusing more on redefining my passion for writing just because I've had a little bit of an unhealthy balance or imbalance with writing. So that's kind of what I've been up to. I do see a couple of comments coming through. Cool, cool, cool. So I just wanted to kind of, before we start, I'm going to remove this. So Katie is here in the live. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for joining, Katie. You have no idea. It's so exciting, so exciting. So I'm really excited that you are. Sorry, I have a second monitor over here. I'm just reading over here. So Katie, is working on an adult contemporary romance. Excuse me, I might need a little bit more information about this. Um, and then yeah, so that sounds cool. I literally want to know more. So if you feel comfortable, just shoot me a DM or we can gush about what we're working on together throughout the next couple of months and be a support system if that's something that you sounds good to you. If you're watching in the replay, I imagine a few people will be. Leave me in the comments what you're working on. I'm going to be going through all of the comments and just kind of creating a new community here. So I'm really focusing on building that community up for myself. Hey, Samantha. Oh, I'm so excited that you're here. Hold on, let me put up what you're working on. So Samantha just joined us. She is working on last year's Nano project. That is so relatable. I think I tried it and I attempted to be a NaNoWriMo the opposite. What is it just a regular NaNoWriMo user? I know like I mostly identify as a I guess Nano Rebel. I don't think that's new, but I haven't really heard that term at least in the last 2 years. So I love being a Nano Rebel. So just in case, Samantha, I know you just joined us, but again, just in case maybe you're skipping around in the replay, this is what we're doing. We're basically going through and just trying to see like what tropes exist. I myself, I already know kind of what I like to read, but my writing style can kind of be all over the place. I write a lot. Like I write fan fiction. My fan fiction is vastly different than my OG original fiction, right? So it's two separate worlds and different tropes exist in different stories and stuff like that. So today though, I follow a booktuber named Read with Sydney Sid I can't say her name, Cindy. And last year she did these videos, I think in the June area of the summer, and I was obsessed with it. I write trash, I read trash. Pretty much I am trash when it comes to um, writing and reading and all of that stuff. And I thought it would be fun instead of just coming on here and being like, hey, what are y'all up to? Or hey, like, what are we writing this year? I wanted to kind of have an activity planned. So this is kind of my activity. And just in case you've never seen this at all. Like basically what we're doing is there's all of these options down here. And basically I'm just going to go through one by one. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know. So I might even pull over to another Google tab. um, and yeah, so but that's the general idea. And feel free, I'm going to post the link in the chat. So if you want to, you can follow along with me. And then on Twitter, you can just send me like a screenshot of your rankings if you want. If you're watching the replay, feel free to do that. I'm back on AuthorTube. I'm really ready to dive back into the community. So I'm done with the ghosting. But there's the link. I'm going to make sure that it actually hopped on. Yes. Okay. So it is in the chat. And so, yeah, a couple of comments have come through. Just wanted to kind of go through. Girl, I'm all about this. You have no idea. I'm kind of lacking in the CP department, um, just because of choice and just because I've been gone for the last 2 years. So I would absolutely love this. Yes. Writing sprints, I'm snapping. Like, let's do this. And then Samantha said it's going to be her first year as a NaNoWriMo. Woohoo! Rebel. I think that means different things to different people. From what I understand, a NaNoWriMo is like, I know you were all supposed to write or push for 50K, but like you're going into the month knowing that that's just not going to happen. Or in some cases, I've even seen it kind of be in along the lines of, I know we're supposed to be writing a new book, but I'm just going to go ahead and edit 50,000 words. I think that's what it is. But in terms of like for what I'm kind of going with it, I'm kind of more along the lines of just doing whatever the hell I want. Like I'm embracing that energy. So yeah. And I don't know if this has something to do with me talking about the fact that I'm trash and I read and write trash, but girl, same if that is. And then Katie, excuse me, I'm like super jealous. I would love to have met read with Sydney. I cannot say her name. Cindy. Cindy. Read with Cindy. I don't know why her name is so hard for me to say. It's not even the hardest name in the book. But legit, wait, she lives near us? Excuse me while I geek out. I just saw that on the last part of the comment. Anyway, I promise there's not gonna be more, a lot of preamble. I just, again, feel super disconnected from you guys. And I just wanted to hop on and catch up with people who caught the live, but also give a chance to people who are watching this in the replay to kind of, you know, sit down, get the link in the little chat. I'll also include it in the comments below after this live is done recording and stuff like that. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. I'm really excited. Let's pop this back on in here. So yeah, I thought I was done with this. I don't know what this category is. I don't know if I'm going to use it, because to me it's like the same thing as sure. So if you've seen Reading with Cindy's video, like the last 3 of this, and then like I yearn for this content, like that, the yearning, like I think she sells merch that says like yearning, and that's just like the vibe that I'm all about. So with that being said, I'm going to start the ranking. I'm going to try and, oh no. There we go. I was trying to make it bigger. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This is just something that I'm doing for fun, but also if you are in a mind state where you just can't think of what to write, or maybe you're stuck on you wanting to write a new project or something like that, maybe some of these tropes can help spark some inspiration. And just again, kind of going through the little categories here. This is like top tier. This is traditionally what the S ranking would be. I have no idea where the S comes from, but basically I am just using original categories. So from the top, we got I yearn for this content. Very enjoyable. I'll give it a try if I have the time or energy. Sure, I think I can delete this. One of those two. Depends on execution. This is a category where in Cindy's video, I really liked this category specifically because like there are things that I, as a person, don't enjoy, but if it's done well or if it's done in a surprising way, I don't mind it, essentially. And then there's just not my thing. There are a there are a couple of, things in here where I'm just like, it's just not my thing. There's a trend. Um, Mine actually might be very close, if not the same as Cindy's tier ranking, but, yeah, we'll see. I'm very curious to see to see how different or similar it is. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. And if you haven't, you know, ever heard of tier ranking before, this is just comprehensive list of fan fiction and writing tropes that we basically go through and you just rank. So simple concept. Let's get started. I've hopefully given y'all enough time to kind of pull this up and grab a drink or something like that. I got Dr. Pepper on the at the ready. So let's just go ahead and get started right off the bat. Okay. I don't want to Google this. I know what it is. I know what it is. It's not my thing. AVO is, I think, alpha beta omega, which is has stuff to do with I I'm a very vanilla person, so I'm a very, very sorry. I just don't want my Google history having anything to do with this just because it's just not my thing. But I think it has I at least in Read with Cindy's video, it had something more along the lines of like animals being turned into humans, and then there's like a romance between that. It might even be like just not my thing. I don't touch animals, furry stuff. That's just not my thing. No shame, not my thing. That's why I love this phrasing of the last tier, just because I feel like it's a lot kinder, I guess, to say. Um, but yeah, accidental baby acquisition. Oh, so I've read stories. I don't know. Tell me what you think about any of these. Feel free to like leave a comment in the chat or down below. Um, it just I'm curious to hear other people's thoughts on this. I feel like if done well, it could be interesting. I think I'm gonna put it in. I want to put it in depends, but I feel like realistically, it should go in sure. I would personally like never write or read this willingly, but if it happened in a book that the plot sounds great and then it just happens as like a little subplot moment or like a scene or something, it can be cute. But it's not really something that I like devoutly just refuse to read. So I'm gonna put it in sure. Like if it happens, cool, whatever. Okay, excuse me while I put this and I yearn for the accidental pet acquisition. For some reason, so I have three cats, and I don't have any kids. I want kids so badly, but right now I'm blessed with three cats and no children. And I'm kind of vibing in that whole, you know, situation. So I love pets. I actually, one of my cats this week had a little bit of a vet. I had a panic attack essentially just because I thought something was a much more serious. My cat's fine. He may's fine. It was just something super, super low level vet visit. But I'm just a hypochondriac and I make big molehills or mountains out of molehills where I just need to learn how to sit the F down. So, yeah, but pets, I think this is really great way to tie in. Like if you're like me, where it's like for me, I feel like babies are a lot more responsibility. Therefore, for some reason in my head, the reason why I don't think I touched on this, and I'm not gonna dwell this long on all of them. Some of them are just cut and dry. But accident, like what makes this different is that like with pets, there's there's a lot more opportunity to like comfort or save like a helpless being that needs your help. And it's so cute, like if two people who don't like each other or two people who need to figure out like maybe their apartment neighbors or something like that, and they find a cat on the side of the road outside of their building and they need to take care of it or something. I don't know. I think it could be a better meet cute or a better like reason to bring people together. Whereas like a baby, I don't know. I feel like it's just overdone. I feel like we've been there. If you're gonna write an accidental pet acquisition, chef chef's kiss. I did that wrong. Afterlife, not my thing. I could almost put it in depends and execution. Let me know what your thoughts are on this, or any of this really. But afterlife for me, I don't like death. That's not to say that I don't like, I will never read about it or anything like that, but it's just not my thing. This trope really doesn't interest me, just because I like reading easy reads. I like contemporary new adult romance for a reason. That's pretty much what I read, what I write. Um, if it could be done in an interesting way, like I don't read a whole lot of fantasy these days, and I feel like I don't know, like that an afterlife new adult romance, like what would that even look like? I'm just trying to think about what it could look like. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to conceptualize this. But essentially, I like living characters. I like easy, breezy, beautiful reads, like that's just I'm a simple bitch. Amnesia. Okay, I feel like not my thing is going to be a little bit overdone. So I want to be careful about over putting I guess overusing it. But Amnesia. There's an anime out there called Amnesia and it's beautiful. It's a beautifully drawn, like the art style is really beautiful. The anime itself is called Amnesia and it's such a good anime up until like the very last episode. Um and it ruined Amnesia for me completely. Basically it's like a reverse harem. She's trying to figure out like who her boyfriend is, and they're within the 12 episode run, like she goes on all of these like mini sub adventures with different guys and she's trying to figure out who her boyfriend is. And it turns like spoiler alert, I am so sorry, the boyfriend is none of the characters you spend any time with. It's obnoxious as hell and it came out of left field and it literally was never earned. So, Amnesia, I still have PTSD from that experience. So yeah. Angst, it can be very enjoyable. I don't totally like yearn for it, but um as a writer and a reader, I think it could be really exciting to play up like emotions. You're gonna see very quickly, I love emotions. I'm a very emotional writer. I don't really like books that focus so much on he's hot, I like him, or she's hot, I like her, or she's not like the other girls, I like her. I If we can bring two people together, even if it's problematic or even if it's like super out there and you would never pair these people together, if we can have a story that really, really, really brings these characters together in an emotional way, like I love that raw connection in real life, and I love writing about that. That's really what changed in my own writing style and stuff like that. And so that's kind of what I like reading about. And I think angst is the perfect trope to kind of play into that if it's going to be a darker fic. Not something that I love reading about, but because it can very easily skew in like the more dramatic side of things, and it can kind of get a little crazy. But yeah, that's kind of my answer. I'm going a lot slower than I thought I would be doing, but here we are. Oh, hey, Lisa. Hey, hey, hey. Um, okay, so animal transformation. Oh, that I guess isn't what ABO is. Still not gonna look it up. It's still not my thing. If you're curious to see what ABO is, I just don't want my Google history and anything to do with that on my Google history. Not my thing. AU fanfic. Depends on execution. I'm just trying to like get through some of these. Author insert. I don't want to write about my life. I don't want to pretend that I live anywhere else just because I read to take myself out of my life, essentially, or I write to take myself out of it and explore my creativity. So that's just kind of that. But AU fan fiction for me, like, I typically the reason why I am drawn to fan fiction as a reader is because, typically I'm watching a story or I'm reading a book that has a really frustrating ending, or it gets a one detail wrong that I think could have gone a different way. And I want to read about that. I want to read in the context of the story. Like, I want to chase those trails. I don't typically gravitate towards stories that take place outside of the canon world, but I think with done right, it could be really, really interesting. Baby fic, see, I really see it's okay. Depends on execution, and here's why. I wanna put it not my thing. Baby fix, again, for me, overdone. Even though I want a baby, like, so badly, like, that would be a great way to end 2021, but, I just think that baby fix or accidental pregnancies, all of this, stuff, kind of like as well as, like, not arranged marriage, but, like, if you I can't think of what I'm trying to say, but essentially, I think baby fics are a lazy plot trope to rely upon just because I like the meet cutes. I love, like, the angst, the tasteful and non-annoying drama. Like, I like the story of how people fall in love. I don't want people to get, like, pregnant. And for me, like, whenever I think of baby fic, I'm thinking, like, the whole plot revolves around them having a baby or revolves around them, like, accidental pregnancy, and it's like the baby takes a huge part in the story, and that's what I'm assuming this means. Um, Maybe it's completely different and maybe it's a kink if that is the case, like, it goes in not my thing, but if the context of this is what I'm thinking it is, like, it's just gonna be depending upon execution because I think it could be done in a really interesting way. I've read a lot of stories where it's very interesting, but again, not the thing that I pursue actively. Basically married. Okay. This is where, like, me and Read with Cindy, I'm just gonna call her Cindy because that's her name. And she's a human being. She's not a YouTuber. She's a human being. This is where me and Cindy kind of, like, clash a little bit. I think she says not my thing, but the reason why I want to put it a little bit higher is because, like, basically married can mean, we're two friends, we've known each other for a long time. Um and we're basically married, like, we fight like an old married couple. I think it could be really enjoyable as, like, uh, we're cutting straight to the point. It's like we don't have to waste 15 chapters sitting through the meet cute, sitting through all of the stuff that, you know, it takes away from their journey, and we can really kind of explore other elements in the plot and in the story later on, and I really think it could be enjoyable. And I do really enjoy it. I don't think that this is just for, like, romantic partners. Like, it could be for friends, and I love me some friends to lovers because that's my story with my husband. We were best friends for years, and then we fell in love, and that's my story with him, and I love it so much. So I love reading about that stuff. Bathing together. I have never read a book that or even a fan fiction that has done this in a good way or an interesting way, but, it's kind of like sharing a bed where it could be beautiful, it could be amazing. Um, sure, why not? I don't I could read about it and I can write it, like, why not? Sure. BDSM, boop, not my thing. Hey, Jana! A couple of, comments have come through, hold on. I'm going to so first off, I'm not sure if Lisa is still with us, but hello, Lisa. She's also a Nano Rebel and she's writing nonfiction. Ooh, I wonder what her project's about. Romantic comedy and chicklet. I love it. I'm so excited. That's awesome. And then Jenna is finally here. Hello. I'm so excited that you're here. Oh, all right. So this is where I've kind of stopped. I'm going a lot slower than I thought I was, so I'm going to try and speed through some of these easier ones. Blanket fic, like, It's kind of bathing together. I don't blanket fic. Does that mean it's I'm gonna have to look this up. Hold on. Tentative blanket. Does this mean like a sad? What is a blanket fic? Huddling for warmth. That's oh, okay. So it's like, yeah. Okay. 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 So this is cute. I'm gonna say I could write or read about it if I had the energy. Again, not something that I would actively pursue just for this trope alone. Like I'm not gonna go on Amazon and search for like a blanket fic or archive of our own and search for a blanket fic. But if it happens in a book, like or if it happens to be a plot thread that I really like and I want that to happen, sure. If I had the time and energy to fit that in somewhere or read it, I'd read it. Body swap, not my thing. I actually really do love this movie called it's either called It's a Boy Girl Thing or just Boy Girl Thing. There's a lot of stuff that's wrong with the movie itself, but overall as a whole I really enjoyed it. And it's just really funny to kind of, play on those tropes, but I've been a nerd, an anime nerd forever, and I'm just kind of over the whole body swap trope. Like it's not something I've read it so many times. The appeal kind of has been lost on me, so it's just not my thing at this point. Depends on executions kind of. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't fit there. This is where I might lose some of you guys. That's okay. We're all just about being ourselves over here. Yeah, I love bully romance. I don't care how problematic it is. I am a 30-year-old woman, almost 31 years old in December. I understand why it's problematic for maybe younger viewers, but being a 30-year-old woman who writes adult, basically like a new adult genre, like for the lower, younger adults, I should say, like I would never try to actively make it trash and a terrible, romance because I feel like at some capacity we don't really control who reads our books and I think it could be really harmful to write that stuff, but come on, like it's so much fun. If you lower your inhibitions or just, give it a shot, like there's some really good ones out there. Not none of the ones that I read. I love Bully by Penelope Douglas, and that's a very problematic book. There's a lot of stuff that I don't like in it, but overall, it's a really entertaining read. I wouldn't say it deserves any like Nobel prizes or anything like that, but that's kind of a fun read if you just want something to turn your brain off and you just want a good bully romance. Another one, oh God, is Pretty Reckless by LJ Shen. Typically, I don't recommend this author. Um, but but that's one of the only books that I really enjoyed by her. Yeah, Pretty Reckless is the title. I love that book. But bully romance, as you can clearly tell, I'm obsessed with it. I don't typically like writing about it because I think there are a lot more interesting ways to push people together, especially to play on the somewhere in here is the um, enemies to lovers or something like that. I really love enemies to lovers. That's just a spoiler for you guys. But that's just me. Again, I'm just gonna be me and we're gonna be honest. I like problematic crap. I like trash. You can cancel me in the comments. That's all right. I've already canceled myself. Case fic. Is that like police work? LOL. I didn't even spell blanket right. Who is this person? I promise I know how to write. Oh my god. That is funny. Oh my god. That is hilarious. Okay, what am I looking for? Case fic. What the hell is a case fic? I feel like okay, case fics. Mystery. Yeah, you lost me there. Mystery. Not depends on execution. I feel like again, if it's done well or if it's just like a very minor subplot, like it could be interesting. Um typically it's not my thing though. I don't act I mean if it has anything to do with like mysteries and stuff like that, like not my thing. Character death. If you look at Afterlife, like, my whole problem with that is I like to kinda be chill and just vibe in the happiness and the happily ever after romance type stuff. Character death, not my thing. If I read stuff, and if someone dies, like, that's fine, but I feel like a lot of people, just kind of kill off characters just to have some shock value. That was a lot of my problem with, oh god, what was it? I feel like Game of Thrones did this a lot. Barristan. Sir Barristan is a character who's still alive in the books, which I've never read, but I know he's alive in the book still. Um, uh-oh. Okay, that was weird. I think I got disconnected for a second. Anyway, yeah. So I feel like I was talking about Game of Thrones, but Sir Barristan may never, die just because George R. R. Martin will never publish the fifth book, whatever it's called. Maybe the sixth book. I have no idea. But Sir Barristan was like a death in Game of Thrones that really upset me just because I really liked him. I really liked him. He was so all he wanted was for Daenerys to be a good queen, and they killed him off for no reason. So character death, needless to say, not my thing. Character study. This sounds super. I fan fiction character. I can spell. I wow, I can't spell. I really fan fic fan fiction character study fix. Like what is this? What exactly is it? Character study. I think shorter fix. Okay. This is hard. Sure. Like if it's something that I'm interested in, like if it's a character study, ooh, specifically, here's some more. Here's okay. I'm gonna give more ammunition to cancel me. So, I love Raylo. Raylo is Kylo Ren and Rey, or Ben Solo and Rey from Star Wars. The sequel trilogy had so many problems. I acknowledge that. Did it stop me from enjoying it? No, it did not. It sure did not. I am super obsessed with Ben Solo, but what happened to him? We will never, ever, ever get justice. I love Kylo Ren's like character arc that I actually have like 3D glasses. I typically, always say I'm going to take this to like 3D glasses or 3D movie showings, but then like the pandemic happened, so haven't really gone a whole lot of places in the last 2 years, but yeah, I love. So anyway, the whole point of that was just to say I have read like shorter what happened to Ben Solo or like whatever happened to like him. Like I've read it. I would read it. Sure. Childhood friends. Excuse me while I just yearn the hell out of this content. Excuse me. I love it so much. I think oh, one thing that I love get and just connect with, Cindy, with the main inspiration behind this whole video or the whole live stream. I connect with her a lot just because, like, she always says, like, she lives for the yearning and the desire and the pining. That's, like, the emotional shit that build up. Typically, that happens with childhood friends, or typically, like, if my brother's best friend is off limits for my whole life and then suddenly like, oh, I'm in college and we go to the same school, is it my fault that I'm into him? Like, oops, can't help it. It's I love childhood friends. Like it's amazing. Love it. Amazing. Childhood transformation. That sounds, if that's kind of what I'm thinking, like, is that Shazam? I know Shazam is a kid who turns into an adult. What is that, an adult turning into a kid? Either way, not my thing. Yeah, not my thing. Crack fic, eh, if I have time and energy, sure. Um, that's kind of, so crack fics are like just kind of balls to the wall. Like there's really no plot. At least the ones that I've encountered. It's not something that I go out and search for, but it's basically like there are no stakes. There's just the story, and we have no reason to stop writing, kind of thing. Or it could be like comedy. I don't know. It's one of those. Maybe neither of those, but in my mind, that's what a crack fic is. Dark fic, very enjoyable. I'm working on a. I don't want to say too much about my OG fiction. Essentially, though, I all of my characters, they're not as innocent as they appear. I'll just say that. Um, yeah, I like to write about very dark themes. If it's not a dark romance, it has dark elements behind it. And all of my characters, like, I feel like in the new adult sphere, there is this trope where all of our characters have to have like this depressive backstory from Hollywood. And like that's kind of the case with me. Like it's easy to write books about people with all the problems in the world, but and the sad backstories and stuff like that. But yeah, I love dark fics. Denial fics. I feel like this could go either way. Depends on execution. I feel like at least in terms of romance, denial fics, at least in my experience, typically have this word in them, which I am just going to say is not my thing. Miscommunication and denial fic. Denial fic, I feel like a lot of authors play it up too much and it becomes the entire plot, whereas we're to the point where it's no longer a device to like be played with. It just becomes the reason, like, oh, I'm writing a denial fic, therefore they can't get together until like the last 5 pages of the book, kind of a thing. I don't know. I'm not into that. I want more of a realistic connection. So, but if it's good, if the execution is great, it can be really good. Again, it kind of goes up here with like the yearning. I love that video. I'm gonna stop referencing it now. Anyway, yeah. So anything to do with like that emotional strain or like just pining, and I don't want this video to be exactly like the video that I've been talking about, but I live for that stuff. Disability fic. I actually really am passionate about bringing more of this into my stories. One of the characters that in the stories that I'm working on is actually deaf. And then I also have a couple of characters who have like um no, that's another series. Never mind. That's a fantasy series. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. But yeah, I am playing with this. And it just requires so much research because if you're gonna do this, like I feel like you have one shot. And it's important to get that right. And it's so important to me to do that right. And you maybe not ever possible to do it perfectly, but I feel like right and perfect are two separate things. And I feel like we should always strive to get it as right as possible. So that's why if I have the time and energy, like, sure. But a lot of people tend to, like, in terms of reading it, a lot of people get a lot of stuff wrong because, again, it takes a lot of research or life experience that you may or may not have, So a lot of people intentionally, or they have the right intentions, but I've read a lot of books where it's like, "Oh, cool. Like this character is deaf and I'm so excited to like read about this." And then being deaf literally doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just like a character trait at that point. And I'm just like, oh, you didn't go there. It's a little disappointing, but I am developing a character um, who's just completely deaf because of reasons. So this is important to me in my own writing and my own reading. So I really think it's important for more people to have this on their radar. So yeah, dubious consent. Consent is the sexiest thing in the world, and that's just period. um, I This is one of the things with bully romances that I have a huge like, I should put this probably, like, depends on execution, but it's staying up there because I love it. Like, I just love bully romance so much, but a problem within this little trope is dubious consent, and I'm not here for it. I will actually return a book on Amazon if dubious consent is even, like, if it's a playful mention of it or anything like that. Like, I'm an adult. I can clearly see if something is like, "Oh, no, I don't want to do that with you," and, like, she's just playing coy or she's just trying to, like, if that's, like a kink or something, like, going on, like, that's different, but if it's, like, actually, like, dubious consent where it's just, like or not, like, like, I don't no, it's just not my thing. I don't think it's a good thing. I'm just gonna put rape fic right there with it. That's just not my thing. Um, Personal reasons, but I just also consent is very sexy. Period. um, do we even have to emotional slut. I am an emotional slut, but emotional smut. Oh, that was a case of a slipped tongue. Enemies to lovers. We live for this. I'm gonna look this up on my phone because I don't. This is infuriating. I thought I was a lot better. I thought it was a lot better. Okay. I feel like she looked this up in the I should know this. Epistolary novel. I have no idea what this means. Oh, letters. I sure. It's not something that I would actively go and seek, but if it happens, it happens. Sure. Established relationship. Part of the fun in romance is that build up, it kind of makes sense to put this in not my thing, but I'm going to leave it in depends on execution just because like I said, if it's like a childhood friendship and there's like an established relationship between them, like that's fine if they're friends, but if we're just thrown into somebody's relationship, I'm just really not that interested in it. But if they have like an established friendship, that's different. Fake dating and fake marriage. I put that in very enjoyable. I do like it. I feel like it's a little overdone though, so I don't totally yearn for it. But yeah, I think it's interesting. Fan kids slash future fic. It's not my thing. First kiss. See, I don't. My problem with this is that I don't write young adult anything, and so for me, I haven't ever had to think about writing something like this because typically, like at the very least, I write about virgins, sure, but like I feel like it's not realistic for adults, at least in the stories that I in the genre that I write in, for like nobody to have ever kissed you. That's weird. I don't know. It's definitely a common occurrence, and especially if like you just are, very sexual, and that's fine. But like first kiss and like depends on. I'm just gonna put it in not my thing. I like emotionally mature people. And I feel like writing a first kiss scene is vastly different than like writing a first encounter or first love scene or a sex scene or whatever. I feel like it's two different people that you would be writing for and a different audience, I guess. Um, and for me, like when I read or write a story, like I'm done beyond the first kiss. Like I have no time for the small leagues. We're in the big leagues now. First time. Excuse me while I put that up there. 5 times fic. I think that's like 5 dates. Yeah, I think 5 is that like 5 dates? I don't know what 5 times means. Sorry, the reason why I'm using my phone now is because I didn't think about it. Like, I'm a f so I'm a fan fiction author, and I don't want, it might have anyway, I don't want my fan fiction name coming up, so I'm gonna do this all on my phone because I do want a little bit of anonymity with that because, dear God, I couldn't write in the early 2010s. Good Lord. Thoughts and prayers if you've ever read that. What am I looking at? 5 times fit. Where are y'all at? Are y'all ranking this with me, or are y'all just chilling and vibing? I think I've lost a couple of you guys, but let me know what y'all are up to. Let me know if y'all are also ranking this with me. Oh yeah, not my thing. I like long fics, and I think this has something to do with like shorter fics. I have no idea. I typically write long fics, and I love reading long fan fictions, but also books. Fix it fic. You mean my whole Game of Thrones fan fiction story is a whole fix it fic. Oh, I've also so I go in more detail about a couple of days ago I recorded a 45 minute video I needed to edit, and it's going to come out sometime this month. Um it, I basically for like the good portion of the last 2 years I've basically only and solely written fix it fix. Fix it fix. I hate that. Fluff. I love it. If you talk to anyone who knows me for 5 seconds, I'm like just pure vanilla. I love cinnamon rolls, and I love characters who are cinnamon rolls, and I love fluff, and it's so cute. Friends to lovers. Excuse me while I put you there. Friends with benefits. I think it could be very enjoyable. Overall, not something that I'm like super gravitated for. Like, whenever I say I yearn for this content, like these are all of the things that like come close to like I will buy a book. I will buy a book without well, with little question if I see any of these like mentioned for the like in the Amazon description. Gender swap, body swap, gender swap. Not the same thing. But again, not my thing. Um Well, okay, hold on. Okay, excuse me while I take it back. Loki just came out. Okay, depends on execution because characters like Loki, like I would read a gender swapped version of Loki. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll put it there. General fiction, not my thing. Hanahaka, Hanahaki. I said that completely wrong the first time. Excuse me. Hanahaki, I know what it's about. I'm just going to put it depends on execution. It's not something, if it comes up and it's done well, perfect, awesome, that's a plus. Um, Basically, it has something to do with like first off, the reason why I'm putting it so low is because, like I said earlier, I typically only read and write new adult, like contemporary stuff, but I don't know. For me, this is more like fantasy stuff. Bye, Lisa. It was so nice to have you here. Thank you so much. Good luck with your writing. So Hanahaki, I think, is like you have like a flower that grows inside of your chest, and you die if somebody that you love doesn't love you back, or if you fall out of love with them, then you don't die. It's complicated. It has something to do with like a fantastical element. It's just not something that I would typically read about, but it's not something that I would absolutely like stop reading either. Happy ending, excuse me. Hate sex. We love it. We live for it. Very enjoyable. Humor, I cannot write it very well, but I like it. It's very enjoyable, but it takes me a lot longer to write humor because I'm not very funny. Hurt comfort, we love it. It's very enjoyable. Not something that I yearn for. Just what? Okay, that's not very consistent of me though. Excuse me, zebra. That's my cat. Speaking of my children, oh, wherever he is. Okay, so I feel like this should be up here because of all the emotions, and I'm all about emotions, right? I don't know. For me, again, this can kind of go either way. I've read a lot of hurt and comfort stories recently that have burned me because all they are it's just one hurt after another, and it's like less comfort than I would like. So I don't know if maybe that's just my recent encounters with this trope is coming out, but yeah. In the is it in the feels or in I don't know what this means, and I don't even know how to look this up. So I'm just gonna put not my thing. It could be something that I like. I tried looking this up earlier because this was the only one that I didn't know, even have a clue about. If you know what this is, I don't know. In the feels, in the bomb, in the collision, I don't know what this is. I know what the emoji is. It's called collision. Explosion? I don't know. We love a good drunk fic. Drunk fics are fun. I love writing with wine, and I love characters who drink wine, and nothing bad ever happened from people being, you know, two people that secretly love each other in the same room with a little wine in their system. Something bad ever happened with that. Love at first sight, not my thing. Love triangle, that depends on the execution. I really don't mm, I don't love it, and I am very hesitant about reading it and stuff like that, but I don't totally hate it. It's not as bad as it once was for me. May December romance. I have no is that like time like where they focus on seasons? May December relationship. Is this an actual thing? Age-old term, an amorous relationship between two people with a considerable age difference. Well, excuse the hell excuse the hell out of me. Oh, and I should say, age difference for me, is typically, like, eh, I would say comfortably, like, 15 years. If it's more than that, like, that's not for me. But if it's like a romance between like a 24-year-old and like a 32-year-old or something like that, like I have a lot of those coming in my pipeline. Just saying, like I would be a hypocrite if I said that that age gap is not something that I yearn for. I don't know. We'll talk about this more, but like I said, I did warn you. I write trash. Mind meld telepathy. I'm just going to put this in not my thing. Um powers, fantastical elements typically aren't something that I like to write about. It might change because of the whole like fan fiction being different from my contemporary OG fan fiction or OG fiction, but typically missing scenes, sure, you know, if I have an idea. Sporking. Is that like spooning? But like what is okay. MST. What does this stand for? Except for Mountain Standard Time. It does not stand for that in this context. What is this? What? Misting? Okay. It doesn't. Oh, a commentary on other people's fan fiction. So basically, like commenting on other people's work. Not my thing. Out of character, not my thing. I'm just trying to get original character. Okay. So this one is specifically for fan fiction. Obviously, if it's an original book that I am writing, then it'd have to go up here. You know, because we all have to write OG characters. But I just don't like it when I'm reading a fan fiction with OG characters that take the forefront. Write a side character all for days. I don't care. But whenever it becomes like an original character becomes like central to the plot, like that's where Mary Sue's happen, and I just can't handle that. That's the same reason for like self inserts. If I think that was anyway, mutual pining. Excuse the hell out of me. Pair the spares. Oh, I for me, like this, I think this is the side characters. That's what I'm gonna go with. So pair the spares is basically like whenever you pair off the side characters, and that's kind of, and I could be completely wrong, but that's in the context of my ranking. Like it's my interpretation. That's I love this because it's also a very important marketing tactic to insert the characters of your next book in the series as side characters in the current book that you're writing and stuff like that. So we do this. We love this. Typically, there have been some instances where I do ship like the characters or the side characters more than the main characters, which is always awkward, but patchwork fic. Okay. Does this have something literally like to do with sewing? Or is this like another term? Is this like just like fix it fic? For me, like that's what I think of when you can stitch them together. Oh, different adaptations. Okay. So like for Game of Thrones, like I watch the show, I like Peter Dinklage is Tyrion in my head, but like there's an element in the book where I like the subplot, and so I might pull that from the book, even though okay, yeah, sure, okay, cool, very enjoyable, like why not? Period fic. Excuse me and excuse me. Thank you so much, Samantha. I'm sorry if I'm not responding to comments. I hope this was helpful or fun. I think, again, if you've never heard of this before, it could be interesting to like have this nice arrangement of tropes and stuff like that. But thank you so much, Samantha, for joining. It was so much fun having you here. Personify POV. Another one that I'm just like, personify POV. Point of view. I know what POV stands for. I'm just going to say not my thing. If I can't figure it out quickly, like I'm just going to say not my thing because no. Depends on execution. Pregnancy fic. Again, I feel like pregnancy is about the laziest, just under love at first sight. Pregnancy is a really boring way to bring characters together, in my opinion. I think there's more interesting things that we can do as writers to bring two people together or give the excuse of people like needing to be around each other often. Throw in a good workplace romance, throw in a good like sports romance, like a nice like best friend situation. I don't know, but pregnancy fic is just kind of, it's been done. It's had its moment. Over it. Prequel and backstory. Excuse me while I have that put there. Purple prose. Okay. This might surprise a lot of people, but I will stand. I will stand and stake my life on this hill. I will die on it. I love purple prose, specifically for fan fiction. I talk about more of this in that long ass video that I keep teasing. But purple prose is it can be done well, and there's a place for it. And I think fan fiction is a really great place because that's just a style that I really love. I don't care if metaphors don't make perfect sense. I don't care if you use too many adjectives. I don't care. Like just have fun with writing. And I think shaming writers for a style that really calls to them or a style that they're using to learn or I guess to further their craft in writing. I don't like shaming people's writing styles very much. I think it's tired and I think it's like a little bit like gatekeeping. So if you write purple prose or enjoy purple prose, let's just freaking own it and let's just, it's time to say yes to purple prose. Oh, just plot. We love it. Smut can be really fun. It's the whole purpose of new adult romance. Reader insert, again, I don't like original characters. I don't love author inserts, recursive fanfic. I'm trying to limit how many things I have to look up here. Okay, recursive. Some of it can indeed. Okay. What? Some of the fan fiction might. Okay, what is it? Inspired to write fan fiction based off those stories. Okay, I don't know what it is, but it depends on execution. It doesn't sound that bad. Secret relationship. I don't yearn for it, but I find it very enjoyable. It can be a very, very, very inter- interesting way to write a story. Sex compulsion. Okay, this is a real problem for a lot of people. I think in terms of writing, what it means is more along the lines of like dubious consent or like a kink related thing. I don't know. Um, for me though, I'm personally writing a character who struggles with sex addiction, and so for me, um, this doesn't totally mean something like super bad, or something that I wouldn't not write, I guess. So not very enjoyable. If I have the energy, I get kind of similar with the disability fic. I think with enough research and like characterization and like respect. I think if in terms of like addictions and stuff like that, mental health struggles, all of that stuff, I think I would give it a shot. I mean, I am technically, I'm in the middle of writing an entire world, but I'm working on a couple of different novels all at once. So yeah, one of my characters struggles with sex addiction, and I think it's important to write about that, like but if it has anything to do with like dubious consent or like a rape fic, like I'm not interested. No, thank you. None, not my thing. Shared dreams, another kind of mystery one or fantasy one. I'll say this: it depends on execution. Um, in fan fiction, perfect, wonderful. I write fantasy fan fiction all the time. Um, Not exactly for my OG though. So it depends on execution. Um, Sharing a bed. This might be see, I want to put it in sure just because I don't want to get yelled at. Sharing a bed. Do I want to put it not my thing? Depends on execution. Where do I want to put this? I don't want to get canceled for something so stupid. But genuinely, I just think it's so done. So, like, sharing a bed can be fun, but typically sharing a bed, it replaces the sexual tension, typically like for more cleaner fix. Or it replaces like the sex scenes for cleaner romances, which I don't read. I don't read clean romance just for a reason because I'm, trash. I read and write trash. Like why would I want I like vanilla stuff. Like I don't go too crazy in the kink department or anything like that. But like for me sharing a bed, it can quickly become like the big scene in romances and stuff like that, and it's burned me so many times, so many times. So not for me. Um, and there are also plenty of other ways to get people to come together. Again, kind of similar to the pregnancy fic, sharing clothes. Sure, like I didn't know this was like I didn't know this was a trope, but I am not opposed to it. I'm sure I've written a couple of scenes, like where they share clothes. Sure, a sick fic. Excuse me while I don't know what to do with this because I okay. Does this mean like sick fic in terms of the characters have cancer and are going to die? Or is it a sick fic where the girl the girl or the guy or the character has like a cold and the guy comes over, or the girl comes over and takes care of them for like a scene or two? I'm just gonna say sure. Um, Hurt and Comfort again is a little bit lower than you might think. It's very enjoyable for me. I think sick fix can be a moment and can be interesting, but I it's not one of the things that I have to read. If it happens though, it's fine. We're living and thriving. Slow burn. This is for me. This is like if there's no emotion, like I can handle it. But for me, like I yearn for a good slow burn book. A story that the characters they go through shit together and they go on an emotional adventure together, or they go through like all of the things, like all of the hurdles, like physical, mental, emotional, like you put them through the ringer. And it's not like this, oh, I can't be with this person because he's my brother's best friend. Like I'm talking like real emotional shit, like I'm out to get somebody, and if I be with this if I get with this person, I put them in danger. And then it's just like the mutual pining comes out because he wants to be with her, but he can't because he'll put her in danger. We love it. We love it. Like, give me that stuff. Like, give me the yearning. Give me the yearning. Show. Give me the yearning. Jenna, I love you. Time loop. Oh, another thing that I don't like. Look how long this not my thing list is. Oh my god. I look super pessimistic based off of this, but this is me. Whatever. Trapped together. Mm. Do I want to go for consistency? Excuse me, I don't know what to do with you. You're making this very hard. I want to, so if I was consistent, I would put it here because this is overdone. It's exactly the same thing as sharing a bed. This is basically the same thing, right? Trapped together under different circumstances, maybe. Um, Concept is the same though. Sure, why not? I feel like this is much more interesting than just sharing a bed. Trapped together, you can do so much with it. We can I'm drawing a blank here, but you can do so much with it. If you're trapped together, like somebody kidnapped you and you are struggling together to survive, and there's the emotional yearning. There's the emotional journey that the slow burn requires. I don't know. There's so much that you can do with this. But again, it's not something that I totally love. Um, True crossover, the quickest goodbye, well, not the quickest. The quickest goodbye is anything with you with non-consensual sex, because consent is sexy. Unhappy ending, goodbye, get rid of it, burn it with fire. Unresolved sexual tension, unrequited love. So much you can do with this. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm repeating myself at this point. Unresolved sexual tension. That's all I'll say about that. Wedding fic. Is it a fic focused on their wedding? Or is it just like they get married at the end or like at some point during the show? Show? We're talking about movies now. Or TV shows now, but books, depends on execution. And woobification. I can't say this. Depends on execution. It's basically like you I know what it is. I just can't describe it. Yeah, okay. Turning a character, okay, well, okay, that's super helpful. This is why I hate the dictionary most times. Woobification, the act, tell me if this is at all helpful. If you don't know what a woobie is, do you know what this means? Because I don't. The act or process of turning a character into a woobie. Thank you, dictionary. Okay, so right underneath that, whoopification is of a character is a curious, audience-driven phenomenon, sometimes divorced from the character's canonical morality. I'm so sorry. What? I what? Where did it go? Depends on execution. I d I don't think it's bad. Um, I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think that you're, like, softening up a hard character, or, like, if a book has, like, a very masculine character and you wanna explore, like, the more emotional side of them, I think that's what it means, like, you're softening up a character from what I understand of it. That's, at least in my head, what it means. So, it depends on execution. I will never forgive all of the fan fiction writers. I will never forgive the fan fiction writers for turning, like, Severus Snape into, like, a BDSM god. Um, that's a conversation that we need to have. I don't know why no one is having it. It's so not good, but, if you wanna turn him if you wanna explore his, like, the emotional journey and the emotional, like, torture that he went through, like, and soften him up that way, like, sure, just don't do the opposite, because that's weird. It's real weird. Not my thing. I'm sorry to kink shame, but it's not my thing. And that's it. I know this was more focused on, like, my rankings, but like I said, if you want to, you can like, if you're rewatching this, you can, turn up the speed, and you can pause this and rank this with me, or and just share it on Twitter. You should be able to, like, share a template on Twitter or something like that, but you should also be able to, like, screenshot this. If you zoom out a little bit, you can screenshot this and send it on Twitter if you did this with me. That it could be fun. But yeah, so now I'm just gonna hang out. Snape, Severus Snape, Dumbledore. I love that. I saw a TikTok a couple of days ago where they were, like, dressed up as the characters, but they were like, I don't it was great. It's the forced proximity to me. Oh, yeah. I like forced proximity. Like, it's super you can do so much with it, but for some reason, sharing a bed, like, it's just I don't know, something about it. Oh, so this is my list. This is my ranking. I'm super pessimistic, apparently. I don't like anything. I dislike quite a bit. Um So here we are, like, half of this is stuff that I don't like. That's interesting. I didn't expect this. I thought I would have a whole bunch more up here than down here, but this is interesting. All right, let me know what you did if you ranked this with me. If you do this afterward, like, share your template or share a screenshot of it on Twitter. But yeah, I hope this was interesting and gave you a couple of ideas of tropes that you might not have known existed or were out there. So yeah, maybe something down here is, like, something that you like, but just right. I think we should all focus on writing what we're passionate about, and I think we should focus less on, like, what is I mean, of course, unless you're, like, an author and, like, you're a career author, I guess I should say, then maybe marketing comes into play. Marketability is a lot more important to you, but if you're like me, you're just trying to have fun, this nano season, just go with it, like, write something that makes you smile, and write something that is fun for you. So, let's drop all of the pressure and stuff like that. We don't have to publish this in 2 days. We can just write this and have fun. Um, I don't know, that's been the key difference in my mental health and my mental relationship with writing, essentially, is giving into my more silly side and having fun with writing and learning to love it through fan fiction. And like I said, I have a 45-minute video that I need to edit. It's coming. I just a 45-minute video. There's a reason why I did this as a live stream and not a regular video. Anyway, okay, hold on. Hold on, Jetta. All right. So okay but concept. Okay, hold on. This is a legit concept. I'm gonna bring this over here so I'm not turning over that way. Excuse me while I read. Concept: energies to arranged marriage with a stuck together sharing a bed scene, but just snarking at each other all night. Excuse me. Okay. I'm saying this is a free ass story concept right here. This is chef's kiss. This is a great one. I love this. It for me, like, I know sharing a bed theoretically can be interesting. I just, in my opinion, a lot of writers try to opt out of writing a sex scene and shove a sharing the bed scene. And it's like, if it ends in fade to black, why am I reading it? I'm just saying. Anyway, I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I know this is a little bit of a longer stream, um, but this is the style of video I wanting to make right now. So, yeah, expect more. I have one more tier ranking video. I'm actually making my own tier ranking thing, and it has a lot of other, I guess, like tropes or concepts or topics that I'm interested in specifically as a writer, that I want to share with the authortube space. So think of it like a tag or a NaNoWriMo Preptober tag that you can do. Um, so yeah, that's it. That's the live stream. Oh, I will see you. I think Monday, Tuesday. I don't know. Um, no hate to them trying to do the fade to black, but sharing a bed still has potential. All right, I could be convinced. I can be convinced. Show me a good love scene. You know, I'm sorry, sharing a bed scene, not a love scene. A bed scene. Um, show it to me. I could be convinced. I'm easily swayed on most things. Non-con is still not good. Not my thing, not good, but everything has a market, so I understand. But anyway, I'm gonna end the stream before I could literally just sit here for hours and just talk. But yeah. Do it. I love you too, Jenna. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next stream, or the video. I don't know which is coming first, so here we are. But I'm really glad to be back, and thank you so much for hanging out with me. That you would spend any part of your day with me means the whole world. I will see you in the next video or stream. Happy prepping, happy writing, and all of that stuff. All right, bye.